enjoy your lives have on that song. It's very famous. So this next one we actually started learning like in January, and we changed it to a minor key. This is called cold cross buns. If the hot cross buns got left outside, they got a little bit cold, they might have gotten a little bit sad. So listen for the difference in this version. So it's good to start on this young here. So this is the D major scale. Once every 6 days. So 6th grade gets to make a lot of progress, which is really great. So they're going to play 2 pieces for you. This first one is called Impulse. big orchestra song. It gets them playing with quarter notes and half notes, and using those notes that the fourth graders played in the D major scale, using a couple different strings. This next one that they're going to do, which is the last one that this group is going to do, I'm sure you will recognize. It's a favorite at many different kind of events. We Will Rock You by Queen. That was called Western Dawn. Now this next one is one that you might be familiar with if you're a fan of classic rock. This next one is a Beatles tune called Eleanor Rigby. It's fun when you play pop songs that like actually use string instruments in like the original recording. If you listen to the original Eleanor Rigby, it has a double string quartet in it. So it's like not quite an orchestra, but it does have some of these string instruments in recording. So this was a bit fun for us to put together. This is Eleanor Rigby. swap thing, you have to say it correctly with an A. Kind of based on some like more Cajun, Louisiana kind of music. I like to picture that some sort of monster that lived in the swamp. We're going to kind of shift gears here with our next piece, get to some more classical music here actually. The next one was written by Mozart from his Requiem, which a Requiem is like a funeral mass or funeral service. And so it's like, this part is called the Lacrimosa, which is just a part of that music Requiem. Kind of a creepy thing about the Requiem is that it was one of the last things Mozart ever composed, and he never actually finished it. Some of his students had to finish it for him, so it's kind of like he wrote the music for his own funeral, is almost how it feels. So I hope you enjoyed this Lacrimosa, we enjoyed playing it. It's been a fun challenge, and it's fun to play something that they kind of recognize as well. You'll probably recognize this. It's normally a choral piece, but written for string orchestra. Yeah, Lacrimosa. So I just want to remind everyone to please join us back in the green cafeteria following the concert for our cookie party. Thank you to everybody that brought cookies. It's looking great down there. I'm excited to try one. So feel free, everyone's welcome to eat, not just the students. Families are welcome to eat as well. And please enjoy the Blackhawk High School Chamber Orchestra will be playing down there. They're a small group of students that rehearse after school on Wednesdays. We've been playing some like rock and jazz music, so you might recognize some of the music that they'll be playing down there. And I want to remind our fourth grade parents to please pick up your fourth grader from the seats on here in front, and please then walk them down to the cafeteria. So fourth graders, please make sure to stay put until you see a parent or family member to walk you down. All the other students can be heading back to the band and orchestra to pack up their instruments and then head on down to the cafeteria. So a few thank yous to give out. I just want to thank all of our administrators, many of whom are here tonight. Without their hard work, we would not be able to have the music programs that we have. And I want to thank our custodians. They did a lot of work today helping move some instruments from different buildings. And they're also up in the booth controlling our lights right now. And I want to thank the cafeteria staff for use of their facilities, for Mrs. Fleshman, who also helped to donate some cups and some napkins for us for our party. And I want to thank several people who helped with tuning and supervising students before the concert. Mr. Tambellini, Mr. Kloss, Ms. Kalmar, Ms. Kosak. I really appreciate all their hard work. I also want to take a moment to thank all my lovely high school students behind me. They did a lot of hard work this morning. They were setting up all these chairs. They were folding the programs. And then right before the concert, they were helping to tune all the younger students. So big thank you to them as well. I appreciate them. One last thank you to all of you, our parents and families, our community members. Thank you for supporting music in our schools. Thank you for supporting our students with their love of music as they grow in their music education. So without further ado, we're going to play our last piece. I think you're going to recognize this one if you've seen the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. This is sort of a medley from the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And it's going to feature a cello soloist and a penguin, so we hope you enjoy. if you